Okay, this one was a viewer request. Today I'm going to be showing how to choose quad wheels. First thing you need to know is you need to know the types of hubs. There's four types of hubs. I only have three of them, so I'll be going over the three main types that I have right now, which are urethane, metal hub, and plastic hub. And then the fourth one, which I don't have, is a hybrid of like a where it's like a metal on front and then a plastic on the back, which is the Atom Jukes, or some have like this glass fiber resin hybrid composite thing. Those ones I haven't skated them and I don't plan to anytime soon. But so with the metal hoods, let's go with those ones first. The good thing about those is you get great roll, which roll is the better roll you have, the less effort you have to do, you have to do to keep yourself going. So let's say you have a wheel that doesn't have any roll. That means it feels like you're on flat tires and it's just like you're slowing down, like you're going through mud almost. Let's say it's the opposite, where it feels like the wheel just wants to escape from you. That when you have it like that, that's perfect roll, pretty much. Another good thing with the metal hubs is durability. The hubs don't deform generally, for the most part. I have not seen one yet. It has a good quick response. Like any movement you send to it with your foot, it reacts to it quickly. Has a nice feel to it. One of the cons though is the price, but the durability of it, I think makes that con kind of not really a con so much. And then another is the weight, because it does add a lot bit more weight to it than the urethane hub or the plastic hub. But it's not like it's a ton of weight. It's just only like a few grams. So I mean, it's not going to make that much of a difference. You'll get used to it within like a week or two. So next we go on to the plastic hubs, which the pros on that is good all-around performance, good grip, and cheap price. Now the cons of it is durability. The metal hubbed ones, like these are race wheels, so I barely used them. But these ones I've been using for, I want to say, at least 8 or 9 months to a year. No, actually, no, over a year. And it still feels good. Whereas these wheels, I felt like I just shredded through the hub within like 3 months. So I was getting new ones of these every 3 months. Whereas these are still going strong. I also know a few guys who have metal hubbed wheels, which they take them, get them re-grooved at this place called Funway in Batavia, and they've had their wheels since like the 80s. So that's over 30 years out of those wheels, and they're still going strong. So one of the good things is that these are cheap and you can get a bunch of them. And like by cheap, I mean like they're $30 for a set of 8, whereas these run from anywhere from lowest I've seen is 100 all the way up to 160, 70, depending on the retailer. Also, one of the cons with these is because the plastic hub does flex, it offers a slower response, so you cannot get the wheel to move where you want it as quickly as you can with the metal. Now let's move on to the urethane hubs. Urethane, that it offers a nice feel, and the response is it's actually somewhere in between the metal and the plastic hubs, so it's slightly better than this, but it depends on the hardness of the urethane. If it's really soft, then the response isn't good. If it's really hard, like this is 101, so the response is really, really good. This is like a 96, I believe, so it's still good, but it could be better. Next, this brings us up to many of you probably have noticed their different widths, and how the how the market would, or the sales, or not, how the retailers would sell it to you is they classify it under 3 categories. They classify it under slim, which is 30 to 34 millimeters or under. Medium, which is 35 millimeters to 40, and then wide, which is 40 millimeters to 40, or 40 millimeters and wider in just the width, not the actual height of the wheel. Height, they go anywhere from like 52 to 62 millimeters. These are, except for this one, this is a 57. These are all 62 millimeters in height. So with the height, I always try and go for the bigger one, but some people, they do good on the smaller 57 to 52 millimeter wheels. With that, that's up to you. So with it, the pros to getting a slim wheel like this, or this even, is it very quick response, very maneuverable. But the cons to it is it's slow to accelerate because there's less rubber touching the floor and less flex, so it doesn't grip as good. Less wheel flex, so it doesn't grip as good to it, and you don't get that little extra bit from here. They're also less stable because it's easier to get it on its edge. And the speed isn't quite as good as these, so you lose a little bit of speed and stability. But I've been skating on this again. I said for a little bit over a year, and I gotten used to it. I don't even notice any instability, and it's very maneuverable, very handy for like those nights at the rink when it's crowded and you really need to be able to move and get around people. Now the next width would be medium. The most common in this category is a 38 millimeter. With a slim, it's 30 to 31 is the most common for that, by the way. But with medium, it's 38, and that I believe is like the best all-around compromise between the slim and the wide wheels, because it gives you great speed, great acceleration, and good stability. Now it's not as good stability or acceleration or speed as the wide ones, and it's not as good maneuverability as the slim ones. It's a compromise in between. We'll say it's like the best of both worlds almost. Now that brings us up to the wide wheels, which are these two here that I have, and then I also have some Hyper Shamans somewhere around here. I didn't feel like pulling them out. These are very good for speed, acceleration, and stability. That it's also another reason why you see them used most commonly in speed skating or jam skating, because they like the stability it offers for when they're doing like those toe tricks or going around the corners really fast. But they're not as agile. It takes a lot to get them to turn quick and tight. And they also respond a lot slower than most others. The last thing you have to look at is durometer, and for that it comes down to the surface you're skating on. If you're skating on a coated wood, and it's recently coated, you want something between like a 97 to, well, actually, let's first go into with what the durometer. With durometer, it's really hard to get that right for you, because see, me, I weigh 143 pounds, and it's going to affect, like, my weight is going to affect this wheel different than it will, let's say, somebody that's 100 pounds or somebody that's 200 pounds. Like my dad, he feels this wheel, like, because he's as good a skater as me, he feels this wheel is slightly too soft for him. So he goes with this 101A wheel here, and he weighs about 220, I say. And he can actually compress this and flex it and get grip out of it, whereas when I skated on this wheel, I was sliding all over the place. I couldn't get grip at all, and it felt like I was just on rocks, skating on rocks, just sliding everywhere on a freshly coated floor. So with this, it comes down to weight. If you are on a slick floor, you want something. Let's say the coating is older and or it's uncoated or concrete even. I'd say anywhere from a 90 to a 94A hardness for uncoated concrete, or just like an old coating and it's starting to get really slick. For freshly coated to like, and it's clean, or it's just really clean and it's hot outside, because the heat has it does affect how the floor grips. I'd say anywhere from a 95 to 98 to even a 101, depending on your weight. I skate on a 97, and I take that to a bunch of different rinks, but most of the rinks I go to, because it's for speed meets, they're freshly coated, so 97A works for me when I go to them. Otherwise, I'd go with a softer wheel. Like this is 95, so whenever it's a slicker floor, I'll bring these out. Also, if you're skating outside, you want something from, like, let's say 86A to 90A. Like this one is, I actually never figured out the durometer on this. This one, I know it's somewhere in between 86 and 88. I know that much about it. So if you're skating outdoors, you want nothing higher than 90, we'll say. Freshly coated floor, you can go with anything from a 94 at the lowest, because then you might have so much grip where you don't have any slide, and you cannot really like, because I like to do a hockey stop to slide because I'm used to it on my blades also. You cannot do a slide without really flipping. So I usually go higher, so I have some slide, but I also have the grip when I need it. That pretty much with the hardness, it is all up to you, and in how you like to skate. So with that, you gotta experiment a little bit. But the rest of the stuff, that's pretty much transferable to anyone. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hope this has helped you out a lot.